But in February 2014, former US President Obama directed a full withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan by end 2014. This held grave security implications for Russia. It apprehended a power vacuum in Afghanistan, i.e., ramping up of operations in Central Asia and Russia by terrorists from its restive Muslim republics, and an increased influx of drugs into Russia. But lacking the capability or desire to intervene militarily in Afghanistan, it decided to secure its interests through the Pakistani security establishment. It had leverage over major players in Afghanistan, who in turn had capacity and capability to calibrate flow of militancy and drugs into cars and Russia. China too had benefited from the above targeting. In addition, its economic stakes in cars, energy pipelines, infrastructure. So, both Russia and China commenced attempts from September 2014 to build a joint China-Russia-Afghanistan-Pakistan front through high-level visits. Pakistan-Russia began work on building a bilateral defense relationship. In NOV 2014, Russian Defence Minister Sergey Shoigu visited Islamabad and signed an agreement on bilateral defense cooperation. This was the first visit to Pakistan of a Soviet-Russian defense minister in 45 years, last in 1969. It also moved Pakistan from List C to List B countries for defense exports. In 2015, the Russian DINSA Yevgeny Lukyanov initiated a MOU on cooperation between Russia's National Security Council and Pakistan's National Security Division. And at the Financial Action Task Force meet, June 2015, Brisbane, Russia opposed India's move seeking censure of Pakistan for its inaction against the LeT-JuD combine. However, the US halted the full withdrawal of its troops, and this paused the developing Pakistan-Russia relationship. The recent US-Taliban talks have resuscitated Russian apprehensions, and it's back talking to Pakistan. But that is not the whole story. The USA is a factor as well. The US's confrontations with Russia and China, its sidelining of Pakistan, India's increasing military hardware reliance on the US and Israel, its entente with the US and rejuvenation of the Quad, have not only impinged on traditional Indo-Russia ties but also led to a convergence of a strategic objective of China-Russia-Pakistan, push back against the US and India. The strategic convergence is reinforced by economic imperatives. Russia's energy export-dependent economy is now more dependent on China. It is also partnering with China's Belt and Road Initiative in order to take advantage of markets beyond economically stagnating Europe. On its part, China is looking at exploiting some of Afghanistan's resources. In 2010, the US National Geologic Survey found that Afghanistan has nearly $1 trillion in untapped mineral deposits. The Taliban is set to return to power in Afghanistan, either through power sharing or independently. A joint Russia-China-Pakistan political and economic engagement with Afghanistan, with China cementing Pakistan-Russia ties and providing the economic clout, can address the strategic interests of all three. If this convergence reaches fruition, it will have implications for India. Pakistan will work to checkmate Indian influence in Afghanistan, and reduced military involvement on the Af-Pak border will allow it to reorient its army against India. Such a reorientation would suit China's strategic objective of ensuring that India's military focus remains divided across two fronts. Add to this the January 2021 Russia-Iran Cybersecurity Cooperation Agreement and the recent US $400 billion China-Iran Strategic Cooperation Agreement, which may reduce Indian influence in Iran, and the wider implications become clear.